Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, December 23rd. A slightly milder morning here in the Mid-Atlantic region compared to yesterday at this time. It'll turn milder today. High temperatures approaching 50 degrees in portions of the I-95 corridor, and there will be an occasional shower during the day today, perhaps some drizzle at times. I do not expect steady, heavy rain today. The next storm system will bring some steadier and heavy rain at times from late tonight through tomorrow night. It'll turn noticeably milder on Wednesday. Temperatures surging to near 60 degrees in parts of the I-95 corridor later tomorrow, and thunderstorms will also develop during the day tomorrow, especially possible in the southern and eastern portions of the Mid-Atlantic region. For example, the Delmarva Peninsula, coastal New Jersey, but just about any area can receive a thunderstorm or two later tomorrow into tomorrow night. It stays relatively mild on Thursday as well behind this system, and those milder than normal conditions will continue on Friday and Saturday as well. Truly cold air does not look like it'll arrive until next week, but there are certain signals here that do indicate that colder air will indeed arrive in the central and eastern part of the U.S. In fact, let's take a kind of a longer term look ahead here at the beginning of this video, then we'll focus in on the next 48 hours or so. What we're looking at here is a temperature pattern right now over the North Pole in the stratospheric level around 10 millibars here. Oranges and yellows are relatively warm conditions, and the purples and blues are relatively cold temperatures. The North Pole is centered right in this region right here, and indeed we have a cold, low pressure in the way upper part of the atmosphere, the stratosphere, around 10 millibars. This is not too unusual. This is what you typically would expect this time of the year, is cold, low pressure in the stratosphere over the North Pole. However, in about a week's time here, there's kind of a reversal here right near the North Pole, where much warmer conditions will take over right near the North Pole. In fact, let's take a look a week ahead of time at the stratosphere. And here we go. This is a forecast for a week from now in the stratosphere. Notice a significant change here right near the North Pole. Again, the North Pole right here. The U.S. is down in this region right here. A big stratospheric warming event. We go from this currently to this in about a week's time. Oftentimes, a stratospheric warming event leads to colder weather in the middle latitudes, perhaps a week or two or a couple of weeks later. Basically what happens is once the stratosphere warms in the higher latitudes, then the troposphere cools off in the higher latitudes, and eventually that tropospheric cold air from the higher latitudes is displaced towards the middle latitudes, perhaps taking a couple of weeks to unfold. But this is a bullish sign for some colder weather potentially here in the central and eastern part of the U.S. during the month of January. Well, one other sign of potential cold weather here in the central and eastern part of the nation is what's going on currently over Greenland. Greenland happens to be a very important source of cold air for the wintertime here in the central and eastern part of the nation. This is the very latest temperature plot at Summit Station in Greenland. Right here in Celsius, this is actually minus 53 degrees Celsius right now over Summit Station in Greenland. That translates to minus 63 degrees Fahrenheit. So some brutally cold air sitting right over Greenland. It just will take a shift in the upper air wind flow to bring some of this colder air potentially down into the central and eastern part of the nation come January. So this is a bullish signal for a longer term change to cold along with that stratospheric warming event. Well, finally, before we get to the weather situation for the next 48 hours, one more longer term map here. This comes from weatherbell.com. It's actually the temperature anomaly chart from last night's GFS ensemble run for around New Year's Day. And all the blues and greens and purples represent colder than normal conditions for that time of the year, right around New Year's Day. And this is actually pretty amazing. Basically, from coast to coast, come New Year's Day, it'll be colder than normal, with the coldest relative to normal right in the south central part of the nation. But certainly this is a a forecast map that bodes well for some potential cold weather here in the central and eastern part of the nation, and the combination of the unfolding stratospheric warming event and what brutal cold air now sits over Greenland certainly holds out some hope for those waiting for some cold weather and potentially snowy weather here in the northern U.S. come the next few weeks. So again, it looks like big changes from Christmas Day to New Year's Day in terms of temperatures across much of the nation. Well, now let's focus in on the next 48 hours. We have a major storm that will move towards the Great Lakes region on Wednesday, Christmas Eve day. This is the forecast map for this evening. Nothing going on here precipitation-wise as depicted from last night's Zero-Z GFS model run. Again, today will not be a heavy rain type of event. An occasional shower, maybe some drizzle at times. The main action here, the main precipitation gathering strength here over the south central U.S. Let's now jump ahead 12 hours. And here's the forecast map for early tomorrow, Christmas Eve morning here, Wednesday morning. By late tonight, early tomorrow, the steadier, heavier rain will develop in the I-95 corridor. It will not necessarily rain constantly during the day on Wednesday, but it certainly can be heavy at times throughout the day and right throughout the night tomorrow night. And there can be some thunderstorms anywhere in the Mid-Atlantic region, but especially focused in the southern and eastern parts of the Mid-Atlantic region. Later Wednesday night, for example, the Delmarva Peninsula, coastal New Jersey. Let's now jump ahead to the Wednesday evening forecast map. Well, here's the forecast by tomorrow evening. Very strong southerly winds will develop ahead of a frontal system. That front situated right around in this region here by tomorrow night. Again, there can be heavy rain at times throughout the day tomorrow into tomorrow night, maybe a thunderstorm or two. Once this front comes on through, it'll usher in slightly cooler air, but still above normal for this time of the year for the day on Thursday, Christmas Day. Let's now jump ahead 12 hours. And here's the forecast map for Thursday morning, Christmas morning. All of these, by the way, from tropicaltidbits.com using last night's Zero-Z GFS model run. By this time, the rain just about ending here in the I-95 corridor. Certainly can be some showers up until early morning hours on Thursday. The winds will remain strong. However, they'll shift from a southerly direction on Wednesday to a westerly direction on Thursday and usher in only slightly cooler air. Again, above normal for this time of the year. High temperatures could reach 50 degrees or even into the low 50s in parts of the I-95 corridor, and it stays above normal on Friday and Saturday as well. Longer term, as we looked at early on in this video discussion, colder weather is destined to reach the northern U.S. Well, that's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.